Hey everybody, welcome back to another podcast, Bro Talk. Brothers, it's another Monday. It's good to see y'all.
Yep, it's another Monday, baby. Shout out to all the brothers, man. It's a long day for me today. I don't know why. Mondays is long.
Yeah, man. I think that's the trend of the day, man. It definitely was a long one. So a lot going on.
A lot going on.
A lot going on this weekend. Let's get to the smoke. Sandy, let's go. Burn it up.
Nah, before there was Sandy, there was Ava. So I got to shout out my daughter, man. Somebody that actually means something, right? Because maybe she means something to somebody, but
she means
I don't
something
really care.
Everybody here.
Hey
Listen,
man, we're gonna get the anger issues in a second, man.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. But yeah, shout out to Ava, man. We took a trip down to the New Jersey, New York border, man, to a city called what Mawa or something like that. Those of you that know. Those of you that don't are like most of us that live in New York. But so we were down there for the state championships for her gymnastics, and they had it broken down in different classes. So I'm super proud of her, man. In her class, she actually came in second overall. So shout out to Ava for going down there, and again, this is statewide, so going down and showing out. She did an excellent job. Super proud of her.
Oh, Ava.
Congrats, my niece. Congrats, baby.
Yeah.
Congrats.
She says thank you.
You're welcome.
But yeah, then we got a chance to, make that last leg of the journey down to Brooklyn. Y'all know my favorite city. Y'all know how much I love going to New York City. So, but we actually had a good time, man. We got to go see family and as just fam. Spend some time, with them. I had a game night on Friday, and we got a chance to celebrate Eli Buckets, my guy's birthday again, with the family down there. So yeah, it was a great weekend, man. Made the trip back home safely, thank God, and then back to the long Monday. So here we are.
Back to the long Monday. You drove back on Sunday. You drove back on Sunday, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we came back Sunday. We left New York probably about like one or two. So somehow we ended up going to the mall, which somehow we ended up going to the mall. I'll just leave it there. So we got out kind of late, but we made it home by 9:30, so it was cool.
You should go in Pennsylvania, man. Go to the outlets.
Yeah, but we went to what was it called? The store called Primark. It's kind of like a Marshall's type feel or something like that. I don't know.
Sneakers?
No, but I got a $10 hoodie though. That joint felt super smooth, yo. $10 hoodie. It was on sale, $12 off, right? Can't beat it. Y'all see me in it. I'll wear it next Monday, man. I'm gonna throw it on next Monday. I don't care how hot it is,
baby.
It's Rochester. We still need it, yo. We still need it. It's Rochester. We're gonna get a snowstorm next week. Shout out to everybody that's buying them $100 shoes, though, man.
Man. I found a sweater, like a shirt jacket, or a shacket, I think they call it, or something like that, for like $9 at Target, man. I'm with you.
Engaged child, they call it that. We don't call it that in the city.
What they call it in the city, though?
A shirt jacket.
I'm not even sure what that is, though. What is a shirt? Is it like one of them flannel joints?
Nah, it's like a
with the wool inside.
It's a jacket, but it's softer. It doesn't have the lining on the inside.
So it's a soft jacket.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
I'm trying to figure out where the shirt come in, though. Where the shirt?
It looks like a shirt, but it's a jacket.
Oh, like a t-shirt or like a
long sleeve shirt.
Just wear it next Monday too, man. I wear the hoodie. You wear the shacket.
I wonder what they would call that in Williams Warfare. Warfield. Wonder what they would call it over there.
They would call it running track because
get up out of here.
Wear that nonsense.
Listen, man, I'm gonna say it because I always say it, man. The stuff that I wear, man, the chapter they figured out about 5 years later.
But we just 5 years later.
2029, everybody gonna be running around in shackets, yo. Let me get that Kareem special, man.
Oh man. So everybody that's just joining us, we got a really good show today. We're gonna talk about anger. There's a lot to unpack in that, so we're probably not gonna get to everything that we want to discuss today in terms of anger. But I think a good place to start is, we had a discussion last week that prompted this, or the week before, where we talked a lot about origins. Like, how did we grow up? How did our parents, deal with things? How did we deal with stuff as kids? What are some of the experiences that we've had growing up? So I think that's a great place to start. I think is, when you think about anger, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Sandra Dorley, like, she was mad.
Yeah, she was tight, but I said the fact that she's still alive.
That was a great question.
That's a whole lot.
That was a great question, Kareem. But I
don't think she was angry or mad or anything. I think she was drunk.
She being herself?
Nah, she was sauced up on drunk on power, and probably drunk on some some other stuff too. That Casamigos, Don Julio. You know what I mean?
My man said, "Why do you have all this hostility towards me?"
Yeah. He's like, why do I have to be an a-hole? Like,
yeah. But the fact that he was so now again, we don't know the guy, but the fact that it was so nice and
man, but here's the thing.
He was a plant, man. They trying to bring the white woman down, yo.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I definitely had that thought.
I was joking.
Nah. So because I thought about this. I was like, well, I was thinking, man, shout out to that brother for doing his job, right?
He's very professional. Yeah, he was doing his job.
Yeah, and then the more I thought about it, you know what I mean. And I'm not saying he wasn't. Again, this is for those of us who might think a little different than other folks, right? As I thought about it, I said to myself, if this is, if she was on her way home, I don't know how long you followed her, but this doesn't seem like an abnormal route for her.
From Phillips Road.
Man, put your camera on if you're going to be responding.
My bad. I'm eating ice cream.
Yeah. You shouldn't. Okay. Now I'm going to struggle.
Ice cream melting.
I'm about to fall into the anger issues. So I'm trying to stay focused here, but yeah, you triggering anger issues over here. But if she goes this route regularly, right, or routinely, my issue is that this isn't the first time she's gone 55 in that 35, and I would imagine that this also isn't the first time someone's been in that vicinity. You know what I mean? An officer's been in that vicinity when she's doing it. So if so I definitely had the thought that what, this might be a little bit of a plant. Because
man, that wasn't no setup that at all, yo. She was speeding. She got blooped by a cop, and her behind should have pulled over. It doesn't matter who she is or who she was. She should have pulled over because ultimately she was breaking the law. And this is the lady that's supposed to enforce the law at the highest level throughout the county, right? She knows better than that. You get pulled over, no matter what your day is like, you pull over, right? Because there's some lights behind you, and either it's an emergency and they're trying to get somewhere else, or they pulling you behind over. She knew that. Like, it doesn't matter if it was a plan or not. Like, she was speeding. You were speeding. Pull over. Take your ticket. Like, if that's what you're going to do anyway.
I'm not disagreeing.
He probably didn't get the memo though. That's probably what happened. He didn't get the memo that day.
No, he got the memo. Yeah, pull her over. Somebody is trying. Somebody may want her out of office. Anytime when it comes to elected officials, nothing. You know what I mean? Nothing surprises me at this point.
How do we even get the video? The video opens to the public. They use foil to get that. How did?
They don't have. I mean, they probably didn't have to because they knew at some point somebody would. You know what I mean? So they just got ahead of the curve. Here it is for the public.
No.
Man, I don't spend too much time talking about that lady. But to your point, man, we all. We're gonna say what every black person, brown person is saying right now. Had that been one of us, it was a different story, man.
Man, it wouldn't have just been one cop that got out and like, think about it. Like, it was no, she was allowed
by himself, right? He was by himself.
Yeah. Yeah. You didn't even hear another cop's voice in the background.
Only on the phone.
So
Kareem
had, I'm sure Isaac and Bruiser and myself have. Kareem, you live in Gates. You grew up in Gates. Have you ever been stopped by the police? I don't.
Yes, for tinted windows, going to Cornell University for a band.
You ain't got to go out all the details.
I mean, I got to just so y'all know how, telling the truth. But yeah.
So, my point.
You got pulled over when we was in the car too for having a headlight out.
Oh yeah.
In Irondequoit, right? And then another cop comes and pulls up on the other side of the street, and guess what? They had a headlight out.
Wow.
Yeah. So when they came back to the car, I'm like, yo, if you about to give him a ticket, go tell your boy, go give your boy a ticket.
I remember that.
Oh man, it was in the truck.
Yes.
Yeah, it was in the truck, man.
We were driving through there halfway falling asleep. He should have put some caffeine in that ice cream he was eating, some coffee in it or something.
It had bananas.
You're not helping with my anger issues right now, but no. If you've ever been pulled over by a police officer, the last thing they're going to allow you to do is exit the vehicle. Like, they don't know what kind of intent you might be getting out of that vehicle with and approaching them with. Like, so the fact that she was allowed to go as far as she did,
bro, she was about to walk in the house.
She did walk in the house,
yo. There's no way. Like, you could have all types of arsenal in that garage, especially a house in Webster.
Ain't no way.
Yeah.
Ain't no way. That's my saying. Ain't no way, boy. Ain't no way, man.
Yeah, like the extent to which she not only was the leeway she was given,
the
and then the abuse of her power, and then she said, then he said, "Why didn't you pull over?" She was like, He said, "You didn't hear my sirens?" She was like, "No, I was on the phone." But the wild part was, did you hear who she said she was on the phone with? She was on the phone calling his like supervisor or something, telling them like, "Yeah, go tell them to find something else to do," basically.
Yeah, and when the supervisor arrived, right, the conversation that she had with him was like, "Why didn't you just pull over?" Right? She says, "I didn't feel like it." Like, it's 5:30 on Phillips Road. Like, I didn't feel like pulling over. I'm like, come on.
Yeah,
now.
like this is like 11:30 p.m., 5:30 in the evening.
Yeah,
broad daylight. You didn't feel like pulling over, and then she tried to play like the sympathy card, like, "Oh, you know what I've been dealing with all day? 3 murders in the city of Rochester." Like, stop it.
How many of them people's family she knew, right? That were murdered, right? Come on now.
Yeah.
And then she threw the thing in about her husband, and he got a diagnosis. Come on, lady. Like, yo, like, now you're just trying to feed into it, because I know when my wife was diagnosed with some bad news, right? I couldn't go speeding home and racing there, and if a cop pulled me over, that I could just keep going home, right, and get out of my car to go check on her. That's not an option.
You could have. You wouldn't have had the same outcome.
I mean, we might not be bro talking right now, right?
Yeah.
What I mean? It's a completely different thing. Like, that's not proper protocol, right? In any situation, right? So an apology means absolutely nothing, right? Because you still got away with it. Apology means absolutely nothing. And the other caveat to this is, like, she took the ticket, right? And she pled guilty to the ticket. What I found out today was, like, the fact that she pled guilty to that ticket means they can't open up that case again, right? So she can't leave. Well, that's one thing, right? They can't test to see if she was drinking, right? But they also can't test. They can't convict her for leaving the scene. because she already pled guilty to it. It's double jeopardy, right?
Mm.
You know, so
She
she
knows that.
protected herself by saying that she's punishing herself by taking the ticket. No, she's not. And from my last perspective on the whole situation is, if she would have just pulled over in the first place, right? And even though this was a rookie cop, right, and the supervisor would have showed up at some point, the way that they were having a conversation, like, she could have just got the ticket and then got that joint thrown out. Like, that probably would have been the end of it. But she felt like she was above the law, right? She felt like she could use her privilege to go above and be, you know, to do what she wanted to do, right? And she messed it up. And the larger scale of things is, there's the potential that, you know, with her, you know, punishing herself, as she says, right, and allowing another town's DA to do an investigation, and the county to do an investigation on her, and whatever comes out of it. You're already starting to see from a lot of these, you know, a lot of Republicans and a lot of people, the police, Locust Club putting out statements that they're on her side, right? So there's the chances are she won't get pushed out of office unless the community truly comes together, right? Across Monroe County comes together and pushes her out. It's got to be, you know, she got to get pushed out by the
court of public opinion at this point, though. Is that effort even worth it?
I think it absolutely is worth it. I think it is.
I mean, help me. Maybe I'm slow, but help me understand the question.
I'm just asking the question for conversation. Like, so, because what it sounds like is she gonna get away with it anyways. So what's the effort they're trying to push? Trying to get her out of office when she has the support of these groups? I mean, is that worth the effort? Should we focus on something else? That's just my question.
I guess what else is there, right?
Well, my thought is, should we is it ever justified to hold, like, and here's the thing, everybody should be held accountable, right? Everybody's got to be held accountable.
Yeah.
But I think there's a different level of accountability for those especially in a position like hers, where she is, you know, like she says, I mean, even in that, her arrogance when she talked about, I know the law better than you, like, she was so blatantly arrogant and you know what I mean, just condescending.
Well, what makes you more upset? The fact that she was arrogant, or the fact that she exercised her privilege?
It's not even about what makes me more. Because the totality of it is that, you know, for her to be in this position, and, you know, she above anybody should have said, you know what I mean? Again, this is exactly why, if there was any kind of honor in her, she would have said, you know what? You know what I mean? I got to do better. I need to hold myself accountable. Like, what she's doing is protecting her, you know, her pockets. You know what I mean? She's got to hold herself accountable. Like anybody.
I want you though, bro. I think, see, what for me, I think the tension that I have with when stuff like this happens is, there's times when, like, so there's a time to fight, and there's a time to maybe not fight right now, but fight down the road. I think there's got to be some strategy to this, because it's not even just about her. It's about a system. It's the fact that the system allows for this to happen.
Somebody's got to be somebody that looks
totally, and then when it's somebody that looks different than her, it looks like us. So it's like the system has a different set of rules. Well, I think that's what people are upset about, the fact that, and I think I just said this to us. Yo, if we live in a world of pluralism, there's two different systems for everything. There's a system for white America, and there's a system for Black America. And those systems operate and work the way that they were intended to work. And so my question is that we want to talk, we want to hold somebody accountable. I feel like there's bigger things that we need to be talking about besides just that. There's other stuff too. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, this person should be held accountable, and the people that are in that should do that, should fight that battle. There's a whole lot of battles to fight out there, man.
Okay, so we just it was the point was just made that the people in the system, like the union and all that, the police union,
they rocking with her.
Yeah, so that means it's back to us fighting that battle. And that said, here's you raised the point about the battle being fought and how there's two systems at play. I haven't gotten a chance to watch it, but former judge Leticia Estacio, right? She, you know what I mean? She did a live, and I haven't watched it, so I can't comment on the live.
I didn't see it either.
Beatrice was on as well too. I did get a chance to scan through it today.
Okay.
So and I did see Beatrice's live, but I didn't watch it yet. Again, I've seen.
They were on the live together, so
okay.
She jumped on. Hers, yeah.
So but my point is, unless you was living under a rock in Rochester, you know about what former judge Leticia Estacio endured, right? So that's facetiously joking, but not joking, right? I said she was on that Don Julio, that Casamigos, but the reality is that in when someone is stopped and you get asked why you stopped, if she was never asked to breathalyze or anything, especially for her not stopping, they should have gotten a toxicology on her. There was so many missteps in what happened again, and I'm not a legal expert. You know what I mean? Maybe we need to get somebody on here.
Or was it a misstep?
Yeah, you gotta. I mean, you have to agree to a toxicology. You can't just make somebody take a breathalyzer. That's
But that's my point. If it's suspected and you decline,
was it suspected though?
In the instance, he never got the whole that kind of back to the whole plant thing, right? Was it really? You know what I mean? Was there really an effort to do anything? Because if it would have got to that point of asking her to do a breathalyzer, would she have declined? Would she have not have? But at least it would have been like, okay, if she declined, you know what I mean? That's an automatic DUI. That's an automatic DUI.
If they suspect it though, right? Because that's the question. I don't think the officer never said he suspected her
because he was so caught up in trying to. Why didn't you stop? Like, man, there's other parts.
Can we wrap this up, man? Because we've been on this for like 20-something minutes.
20-something minutes now.
Yeah, we have a program. So can we wrap this up another 2 minutes? So
y'all good. I'm good.
No. Let's make your last point, B. Because I know where you're going.
I'm just, you know what I mean? It's I guess same old. You know what I mean?
Hey, man, it's the world we live in, bro. We're going to keep talking about this thing, man, until we get to the table. And like Kareem was saying earlier, there's a lot of issues that we got to talk about, right? But who's bringing it to the table, right? So, like, we live two different lives, B. Like I said, B, my goal is to come home every day. Is to make it home every day. You understand what I'm saying? That's my goal. My goal every day when I leave is to get to my destination.
That's easy. You should have just been born a white woman that became a district attorney. You have no problem getting home.
Right.
That's the reality, right? And I think that's why you have to bring attention to it. You know what I mean? Because I think the conversations, we kind of beat around all the time, right? And we'll say it, right? We'll be in an outrage, and the community will be in an outrage for a month, right? And then somebody black is going to do something or not do something, but it's going to get highlighted, right? And we're going to forget all about Sandra Doorley, right? Yes. And just like we forgot about so many of the black people that got killed by the police over the years, right? Huge uproar, right? But then something else happens. We're going to hear something potentially about Donald Trump or something like that is going to take over the news locally again. And this isn't going to be a story, and it's going to slip under the radar. Right. It's going to take somebody to keep a highlight on it. It's not going to be us. I promise you that. One, because I won't say I don't care, but I don't care. We live in this system, and we have to learn how to navigate it. But there are some activists out there that, if you are going to say that this is going to be the thing that you're going to push, you have to continue to do it. You know what I mean? I'm not that person. I can say that wholeheartedly. I'm not that person, right? So, I'll talk about it and I'll bring that, awareness to that, but I'm not the person that's going to fight this into the ground. There are some people that are pushing it, right? Don't get derailed over the next silly thing that happens, right? And especially if it's somebody that looks like you, because it's just a way to divert attention.
As a people, man, we're so the I don't call no damn brown. The black race, man, we are so forgiving, bro. Sometimes we wonder, like, man, why are we so forgiving? You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, I just like to go straight to the point, man. Call a spade what it is, man, and just keep moving. I don't like to beat around the bush. I like to just go to the point, man, say what I got to say, and move on. You know what I'm saying? Who likes it, who don't. At the end of the day, this is the world we live in today. You know what I'm saying? People have freedom to say what they want to say. On my job, I'm working mostly, like-minded people like me. Not like mine, not like mine. But, certain things I can't say to them, man. Kareem already know. You know what I'm saying? It's a different world, man. It's a different world. I can't say certain things on my job. I'm like, I said, yo, man, what's freedom of speech? What is that for? What is that for if I can't express myself? Anyway, man.
That's what Trump is saying too, yo.
Yo, I think this
they got a gag order on him.
I think this is a good spot, man, because what I just witnessed not too long ago, man, is that a lot of times as black men now, because this is black men, brotherhood, fatherhood, right? And one of the things I do notice about us as black men is that a lot of times our anger is misguided, or where it's the attention that it goes towards, I think sometimes is misguided, or it's in the wrong place. So, example is like, let's say like earlier today, my son, we were out playing catch, right? And he was running some routes. Now he wasn't catching them like he normally was. And so I could have got, like, hey man, come on, man, catch the ball. You know what to do, and fussed at him about it. But then I was like, I had to ask myself, like, hey man, was I throwing the ball to give him the opportunity to catch it?
You ain't
and I definitely not quarterback, but I think a lot of times, man, like that's what happens, right? Is that I'm gonna quote somebody. He's a rapper. I know he's very controversial, but he talks about how we be worried about the wrong thing, we be angry at the wrong things. You know what I'm saying? And I
was that Chris Breezy?
Nah. The other Easy, the other one. And I would love to hear that discussion. I love to hear people in the comments about that, because there's a such thing as, like, there's anger, there's righteous anger, there's evil anger, right? But I think we don't know how to like decipher which is which, and then kind of where those things are placed.
Yeah, so me, I'm the type of person, I don't get mad often. Like, I mean, you brothers can probably count on two fingers the times that you've like really seen me mad or upset, right? And I think that's purposeful for me, because I know if I do get to that point, like whoever is getting that energy, you will have that for the rest of your life. Like there's no coming back from that. You know what I mean? So I do my best to stay very even keel, right?
And if you in the way, everybody getting it.
Listen,
I saw a nigga Ike mad. I saw my man Ike mad on Thanksgiving, baby. That's the only time I saw Ike mad.
Long time ago.
That doorbell rang like, hey man. Hey, the doorbell ring like, hey man, your middle finger. Like,
yeah, but I mean that's how I am. So I try, I honestly I just try not to get upset, right? And you know, a lot of people will say like, you know, Isaac, he's just like mad cool, mad chill. It's like, nah, like if you knew what was going through my head, you know what I mean? And I start to, you know, kind of allow these feelings of anger to come out and share them towards you. Like there's no coming back, you know, from that. And, you know, so I know me, right? You know, from that perspective.
How
I
did you
just
get
don't
to
allow
that point,
myself to get there.
How did you get there? How did this come about? Like,
what, the anger or the
no, to be able to
to suppress it?
Yeah, suppress it.
I don't know. I mean, I think that's just like part of, you know, my temperament, how I was, you know, kind of brought up. Like I came from a household where I didn't really express feelings and emotions, right? So like if I was upset, I was upset by myself, right? I was upset in my room. I was upset alone. It's not a conversation that I had with. So, you know, keeping those thoughts and feelings within, which is not necessarily a good thing, right? But that was my practice, right? And that has kind of always been my practice. So I either work through that I've always worked through it by myself, right? And then come to a resolve. I'm like, yo, it's not really that big of a deal. Just forget it. Like I'm not worried about it. But you know, if I get to a point where I don't like what you did, I don't agree with what you did, and you know, we had a conversation or we don't have that conversation, and I'm truly upset about and angry about it, there's just no coming back from that. Like you're just out of my purview. You're out of my life. I don't need to deal with you anymore. So
give people more than enough rope. So if they pass that, then they've gone extremely too far.
Yeah,
because you've given a lot of grace, a ton of it.
Yeah, and again, I don't know how healthy that is, right? I'm not giving. This is none of this kind of conversation that we have is advice, right? But you know, it's just the reality of you know who we are, you know, as people and how we deal with certain situations, you know.
Yeah. Bro, man, how about you, man? Because you came from the island to Brooklyn at 13, and I'm sure you went from this slow pace, just everybody knew each other, this village, this family, and now you in Brooklyn, and everybody not as friendly no more. So now you gotta let them know what time it is.
That's a good question, bro. I hated Brooklyn. I hated America, period. You know what I'm saying? I leave Jamaica, man. Everybody say good morning. Good morning, Mr. Ace.
And good night too, yo. That confused the heck out of me, yo. When people say good night, I'm like, yo, you going to bed? You just got here. Like, what are you talking about?
Let me see Mr. Smith up the road. I don't say good morning, good evening. Mr. Smith gonna walk past the house and be like, Donna, Mr. the boy Robert, he must walk past me.
Plain walk past you?
Yeah, walk past. Yeah, just walk past. You know, don't say nothing. Man, licks, boy, licks. You know, coming to Brooklyn, man, it's a different world, man. I'm lucky I'm one of those kids that I make friends. And I have friends on my block. I went to school. I have friends at school. You know, this gang stuff, I didn't really know too much about it. You know, I wasn't into all that. And I just used to just go home, man. I used to go home. My grandma used to be home, and I used to go home and watch certain things with my grandma, man. That was my thing. You know, just keep me off the street. When I went to high school, it was totally different. I got very comfortable, know my way around. Didn't get into too much fights. Any fights I get into is always because of somebody else. You know, I'm making sure my people's is good. You know, always know the people's in these different gangs. Gang over here, gang over here. I always know them. You know, so I never get caught up, you know, with the Decepticons back in the day. You know, all this Bloods and Crips stuff just started. You know, we didn't really have that in Brooklyn too much back in the day. You know, so sports keep me out of everything, man, out of the drama, attitudes. But I did have some attitude with teachers. I went to a white school, you know, FDR. Shout out to FDR. one of the best school in Brooklyn. And, you know,
Sandra Dorley went there.
yeah, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know who that is. But, you know, FDR High School, man, was one of the top schools in New York City. Between that school and the school that your wife go to, Ike. And,
Midwood.
yeah, top of the class, man, you know. Teachers used to give me certain grades that I didn't deserve, and I would ask questions, you know, and they try to teach history. He wasn't the right history. And I'm asking questions about certain history. Why we don't spend more time on this? So it was a lot of that stuff for me. Like, you know, me growing up knowing history and knowing certain things that was taught in my household. Some literature that I read about, they didn't teach it. You know what I'm saying? So I used to ask my teachers, why they don't focus on that? You know, aren't we a part of history? You know, why is I hear this thing about Mr. Columbus all the time? Mr. Columbus this, Mr. Columbus that. What about the you know what I'm saying? The Indian people, you know, what about them? They're not a part of history, you know. So I asked a lot of questions, and you know, I got suspended because I was talking to a teacher, in a strong manner. You know what I'm saying? Not cursing. I was never being disrespectful, but I let him know that I know things, and that's not the way it was supposed to be. And he didn't like my attitude, so he tried to get me suspended. Lucky thing I was cool with the principal, man. Everybody hated that principal, but she loves me for some reason, man. God bless her soul. Wherever she passed. God bless her soul. White lady. I think she was the best for that school at the time. Because it was a racial tension was going on in Bensonhurst at that time. When they killed Yusuf Hawkins. You know, he was dating a white girl in Bensonhurst, and they killed this black kid. You know, and my school was like 2 blocks away from when he got killed. You know, so my whole freshman year was heavy with security, police present. My first year, especially my first year. You know, and I was like, man, this is where I come. You know, beautiful school, man. Beautiful teachers, beautiful education. I wouldn't change it for the world because it got me prepared for my next step. You know, so as angry, I think I probably was angry with family more than I was angry with, you know, just the regular general public. You know what I'm saying? So my anger, I know how to just say what I have to say and just leave it alone. You know, and that's something that I've learned from my grandparents. And even pledging. Pledging helped me with that a lot. Just to say what's on my mind and don't, you know, just let you know how I feel about certain things. I think being in the process, having a process, helped me get out my shell a lot with just explaining how I feel. You know, if I'm not feeling good, you're gonna know about it. If I don't care for you, you will know about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't play politics with people feelings. Can't do it. I don't have the time. I don't have the patience and time to do it. So if you know I don't care for you, you try to give me a WhatsApp. Hey, what's good, bro? We're gonna look at you, man. Let's keep walking. You know what I'm saying? And you'll definitely feel the tension that, you know what I'm saying, we need to either have a conversation. Right now is not the point because I'm either chilling with my bros or I'm doing this or I'm doing that. So we'll get up later. You know, so I suppress stuff like that. And then, you know, you move on to, you know, marriage and divorce and stuff is out crazy. And you got to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? You got to figure it out. You know, you're in court. Like for me, speaking for me, you know, this is all for me. I got to fight for my little man. You know what I'm saying? People lying, court. You know what I'm saying? Look, I got some good people, man. Be like, nah, that's not the way it's supposed to be. Nah, you know? And you can't believe that's how people are. So you learn. You know what I'm saying? So I learned to just pray about it too. You know,
you can't be the angry black man in that situation
and
either.
I can't be the angry black man in that situation in court because they're looking for you to be that person. You know what I'm saying? And I learned so much about being in the court system that's why a lot of these young men men of color don't really go through all that, bro. They don't have the patience for that long distance. They will drag it out. They will drag it out. They'll drag court out for a year. They can't make it this week. They got something to do, and they figure out how to get it canceled. You be there, you be in court, stuff is canceled. You know what I'm saying? You didn't know. They tell you it's canceled, you got to go back home. You miss a day of work, you miss a half day of work. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have a supervisor that understand what's going on and to say, yo, I got you, just let me know. Boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? So at the time, man, for me, there was a lot of time I was angry, man. I used to come home, get in my car, man, and I'm, you know what I'm saying? I'm driving fast and I have to slow my butt down, you know what I'm saying? Because I have to just slow down, man, and just deal with it, man. Come home, talk to my mentors, talk to a few bros, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Rod, DQ, and you know what I'm saying? Those bros, man, got me through a lot of the thing, you know what I'm saying? Brock, all of them, man. Cease went through some things, not to call him out like that, but he was knowing how to tell me how to do some things, man. Other old school brother went through some things. They know how to talk to me about it, man. DQ was always that level head, bro. Hey, bro, you gotta pray about it, bro. Hey, this, that. My pastor.
I heard he wasn't like that with pledges, though.
Huh?
So I heard he wasn't like that with pledges, though.
Who's that, DQ?
Yeah, I heard it was different.
No, DQ is different. DQ is different.
Oh, you talking about before 1991, right?
Nah, listen.
No.
Yeah,
Shut up.
I am. Yeah.
All the way up to 95, DQ was something else, bro.
Man, listen.
DQ was cool though, man. On some other stuff, man. DQ's gonna give you knowledge.
My sons told DQ, he was like, yo, I draw the line at my family. DQ grabbed the sides of that bucket hat. He was like, and smoke was coming out of his ears. And again, and so I shouldn't be this way because I definitely, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
But you are this way.
I'm passionate. I'm passionate about whatever it is I'm doing. But when somebody, so I don't necessarily enjoy it when somebody's laughing at my anger. Oh, but if you mad,
everybody know. You don't enjoy it.
Yeah. So what? You know what I mean? Hey, you know what I mean? You mad about it? Okay, then let's be mad together. But if somebody else, mad, it is comedy to me. And DQ pulled that bucket hat down, man. Yo, I will never forget the image and what that looked like, man. And he squatted down like a sumo wrestler, man. Yo, that junk was hilarious.
Yeah, but you just pray on it, man. A lot of brothers say pray on it, man. Ask God to come in your life and change certain things. And, it happened. It happened. I didn't take an L. I never took an L in that situation, and I was happy with the outcome, so everything worked out. But I see why a lot of men, what I'm saying, in the court system, they took L's. It's too long. They're not built for that marathon run, boy. I was built for that.
Yeah.
What about you, Bruce?
You had the support, like you said. You had brothers you could go to and talk to them about it. Imagine them guys. A lot of them probably don't have a similar or same support system,
right?
Or people that's in places, right? It's not even just support; it's people in places. And so having that, what we call social capital, that plays into it, man. So you can be confident walking in the courtroom because you got some sound advice walking in there, man. And that's not the case for everybody else, Like, I wanted to touch on the being a child thing, man. I watched this thing last week about these young fellas, man, was talking about how it's difficult for them to have a relationship with their dads that weren't around because they were saying, like, yeah, I'm angry because, this person only comes around for birthdays or they only come around for here. And it's like they want to come back into your life and try to have this relationship, but they missed out on so much, and sometimes they come back and they act like it never happened. And I I couldn't imagine that, because I grew up with my dad, but like I couldn't imagine having those type of feelings, man. But it really it touched me, man, because I was like, wow. I said for the first time, at least I'm seeing, young men are actually talking about this stuff. I mean, it was on a platform, I'm sure it's been talked about, but it was my first time seeing it, man. And I was like, wow. I said, imagine how many young men feel this way but don't have the platform to be able to have this conversation.
So I feel like we have to, validate anybody's. If someone's feeling some type of way, I think the worst thing we could do is invalidate their feelings.
Right.
So I understand those feelings come from a very real place. I think it's really about unpacking it. You know what I mean? We don't know what, in addition to whatever absenteeism was experienced or felt or understood, they also don't know what,
what was going on, right?
what contributed to it, what narratives were being said. So, and so I think there would be a lot to unpack there before just kind of diving into it. I would say this. I think, when we become, and I heard this once, that, when children are young, they love their parents unconditionally. At some point in time, they reach an age where they begin to, judge their parents for what they can or cannot do. And then if we live long enough, we begin to appreciate and understand. And my grandmother used to have this saying. She used to say, keep living. She would say, I can hear it saying it right now. Like, baby, keep living. And what she was really saying is, like, the things you don't understand now, or the things that seem convenient, like it sound like, it's that simple. You're gonna reach a point in life where you'll understand, certain things a lot better. You know what I mean?
You're gonna understand and be healed from it though, because I'm sure there's a lot of people understanding stuff, but they still feel that hurt and that pain, and they haven't, like you said, unpacked it and dealt with it.
Well, I think if the understanding and the healing go hand in hand. As you begin to understand, you begin to start the healing process. You know what I mean? And I think the thing that we have to ask ourselves is, what do those feelings, those emotions, how do they serve us? You know what I mean? Holding on to those feelings and those emotions and those things that we can't do anything about to change. We cannot change one thing that happened 5 minutes ago, much less 5 years ago. You know what I mean?
That's a healthy perspective, I think, bro. I think that's coming from a healthy place. But
isn't the goal to get healthy? Right?
It is. It is.
I mean,
100%.
So that's you know what I mean? Like I feel like, yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean? But and I think within that process, we allow for so much time to be spent on feel. Yes, feel what you feel, and I'm going to validate your feelings. We then have to get to a point where we can begin the process, and that's the unpacking and strategizing. Now, how do we move forward? You know what I mean? Because
how long are you going to mourn the death of Moses? Take your day, mourn it, but we got to move on. And and it's not, like you said, it's not to invalidate or lessen what's going on, but we still got to live life.
Exactly.
And if we stay stuck in this one position, then we become arrested in that period of time, man. You know how many grown-ups I see, they like in their 40s and 50s, but when you have a conversation with them or where something happens and there's some tension and they get anger, it's like they go right back to whatever that age is, where the trauma happened or that age. It's just like they stuck in time, man. And I think that's what happens a lot. That's why we got 40-year-old grown young boys, that exist in the world. They're men in their bodies, but not, in their emotions and their minds, because they're stuck at that place and haven't had, or have chosen not to, maybe for some, or don't know how to, unpack those things and to move past them.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a lot of that, right? Don't know how, like, never seen that modeled, for you before. Don't feel like it's manly, right, to unpack those things. Feel like you have to keep it within because there's so many other things that you gotta, worry about and support. I think all of those kind of play into it, and our reasons why people don't address those anger issues.
All anger isn't bad though, too. We do got to say that. Like, all anger isn't bad. I mean, there is good anger that exists.
Like what? Give me an example.
So, I mean, if an adult hits your kid out on the street, that's to me that's righteous anger.
I call that defense. Like my kids are an extension of my right pimp hand. You know what I mean? Like, like I don't hit my kid. Like they just should expect it. You know what I mean?
But let's play this out, because again, we legally speaking, and I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying, you come to the defense, right?
Mm.
And then somebody you cuff somebody, they land head bounce on the concrete,
and
give up the ghost.
A higher spot to be in, man.
Yeah, exactly. And so now again, for me, now I can only speak for me, right? For my babies, I would gladly do the time, but I don't know that they would want to, coming to see daddy behind the plexiglass wall ain't you know what I mean? I don't know if that's an ideal life or situation.
Yeah.
And I say that to say I relegate everything that I do, because again, I've had to deal with some anger issues, you know what I mean? So I've learned to relegate everything that I do through this question. Is it worth it? Is it, first, it being whatever I'm considering or contemplating doing, worth it? Second, what it would cost me to do first it. You know what I mean? So, and as much as, again, now there will be a confrontation. Like, if there's no way you're going to put your hands on my kid and we not have, some confrontational issues. You know what I mean? Now, the extent to which that goes, now I'm gonna relegate that based upon how worth it is what I'm considering doing, to the extent of the greater impact that it might have on my life, my family, you know what I mean, my children, my wife, so
or even what you're gonna do, so you might not lay a hand on the person, but you're gonna give them a verbal.
I just might not lay feet on them.
Listen, B, you're not about that life, man. I mean, back when I was in jail, man, and you know what I mean, spending that time.
Sorry. Stop by you.
Sorry, I couldn't finish. I tried.
You're right. I ain't about that life, Facebook. Just try it. Just don't try it. Don't try it.
Listen, you don't know about the Jack Mac, man. You don't want to know about the Jack Mac. You know what I'm saying?
Like I said, I'm not about that life. Just don't try me.
Try Jesus, right?
Yes. Try Jesus.
If you believe in him.
Whoever it is you believe in, try them. And even if you don't believe in Jesus, I offer him for you to try. Try him.
There you go.
But please don't try me, and please don't try. Like, if y'all think I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna say who not to try.
Yeah, I got you.
I think that's how we wrap it up, yo.
I think so. All right, man. How we looking in the comments? I see Bama done came on. He must not be busy tonight.
Bama at his 5th job, man.
dealing with his anger.
Right. Yo, you muted, bro.
Yeah, bro, you muted.
You still muted, bro.
Yeah, bro, you muted.
I said, this dude Bama, man, Mr. Waters, He always clown me about a green card in Jamaica, man. I've been thinking this dude Jamaican, man. You know what I'm saying? What jobs he got?
Yeah, man.
You know, hey, B, your D got some jobs, baby. You know what I'm saying? You talking about leaving job to go to another one, man.
Yeah, that's my dean.
Yo, man, I need for you to stay in your house, man. I know what you're doing. Stay in your house, man. Go home, man. Stay in your house, man.
Listen, man. All that work is not good for your blood pressure.
You gotta pay them tuition, man.
I'm about to say, James, man,
ain't good for it.
And he always broke, man. What's up, man? You still paying off them loans?
Man, James paying off everything. Like that dude hold it down. I'd be like, man,
yeah, he do hold it down, though. He do be holding it down.
Oh, well, if that's the case, hey, yo, man, let me get a loan, bro.
Hey, man, hey, that's the case, man.
Listen, man, I got 4 kids, man. Help me.
Help me, man.
Help me.
Please. Big brother Bama.
Yo.
From Jamaica.
Shout out to everybody in the comments. Roz, we see you. We appreciate you tuning in. For show. And I think that's all we had in the comments today. So, but if you are listening and you're in the comments, man, throw a heart in there, throw a thumbs up, throw a salute, man. We definitely appreciate you all for tuning in.
I saw #1 hater Andy Rose in the comments. You know what I mean? That's a hater. Cause man, listen, he be disrespecting LeBron, but that's another show, another topic for another show.
Shout out Andy, man. We appreciate you.
Always, bro. Always, bro.
Chanel, we appreciate the hearts too.
Yeah, fam.
Thank you, Chanel.
My wife was watching on with us. Shout out to the GOAT. Yo, and sis was watching. Brandy. Hey! I told you his reaction was worth it. Shout out to my sis Brandy Hayes. Yo,
thankfully I don't have anger issues.
Watching, my nephew Lil Wallace was on here. He 25, but he going. You know, this is why. It's funny because this is why my wife did not want. This is why my wife did not want us to name Bilal, Bilal, because she's like, he gonna be 30 years old. People gonna be calling him little, but we got Bam. You know, we came up. We was able to meet at the happy medium. Call him Bam. He can be Bam forever, right?
Did you call him Bam for a reason, or is just a name that came up?
Baby anger management.
Gotcha. Understood.
Yeah. Listen, this little dude was in pre-K slapping kids. Yeah.
He got delivered though, right?
Hallelujah.
There it is. Amen.
Yeah. So we still praying. We still praying that even, you know what I mean, stay at bay. But yeah, like he was it was like every day we would go to pick him up from school, there would be a story. And so they have like the support staff in the classrooms, and the lady that was the support staff, her name was Miss Johnson, and she was like a grandmother type. And she came to us one day, and she said they had like they sent home a notification like, oh, there's gonna be ice cream tomorrow, so you can give them money so they can buy ice cream. So Bam went to pull out his money to go buy the ice cream, and some kid tried to take his money, and Miss Johnson said, and Bilal ain't gonna let nobody take nothing from him. and I guess it went left after that. But every day there was like a story like, yo, he done put his hands on somebody's child again. Like, oh my God. Like, and all I could think was back to when we used to laugh and clown my Sands. Because Isaiah was, Isaiah would go to pre-K and was on that same type of time, and I thought it was hilarious till you get you
have your own kid.
Yeah, you super embarrassed because they waiting for you at the door. Like, your child, all the other kids standing up and doing stuff, and your child sitting over there just sitting down. And he's like, oh, what is it today, man? Oh my goodness.
Bro, you are
exactly.
Take him.
Isaiah used to be off the hook, boy.
Yeah,
Boy, man. The first man.
He's the nicest young man now, too.
Man, I'm looking at that man. My
Yeah, he got it all out early, yo.
Yeah, it's all fun and games till you the parent getting that
that's
report.
The same kid, man, that peed on my leg, man.
Brock used to be like,
Yeah, that was your fault, Kareem. Like,
nah, man, he had his diaper on.
Yeah, exactly. So if the pee got through the diaper, he done peed too many times, bro.
We was at Brock crib one day, and Brew was like, "Come here, come to Uncle Brew." He said, "Shut up."
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh man, I said
he said, "Shut up."
Yo, he used to tell everybody to shut up, man.
Yo, man. That joke was hilarious.
Hilarious. That's all right. I'm gonna get you. Don't worry. I'm gonna get you. You get him too. You get him too. I got him. Oh my God.
They all turned out to be good young men, man. They're doing their thing. They got the anger out. Sometimes you just gotta get it out in a safe space.
Oh, yo, listen, see the goat. She hold me down. So she's right. So it started out. Bam started out as baby anger management.
Yeah.
Now it's becoming a man.
Facts.
Yeah. That's dope. Oh, that's okay. I got it now.
Yeah, becoming a man. So
you just realized they were both acronyms?
I did. I paid all that money.
Lord.
That's why you said it, because
Negro, you still paying, yo. You still got a degree in process.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. Sometimes you don't see what you don't see. If you're not looking for it, you don't see it.
Oh man. All right.
Yo,
who you shouting out, Kareem?
Yo, Jay Walker here. Justin Walker, what's going on?
Yeah, I know. I seen him on Sunday, man. Shout out to him, man.
Yes, sir. I ran into bro last week, man. He doing an awesome, amazing work, man, in the community out here, man. Listen, keeping
out in Virginia State.
Salute, bro. Love. Hey, man, I ran into him and Brandon Salmon, man. Yo, I've known these dudes since they was young bucks. We all have. So, you know what I mean? We don't watch them grow up, man. Proud of these young brothers.
So, I want to shout out my beautiful wife that I go to bed with every night. Shout out to you. Love you. I know you listening.
Kareem said he ain't never sleep on the couch, man.
Ever sleep on the couch. In the attic. You know what I'm saying?
Go to bed when I want to.
Yeah. Hey, I'll let the public believe whatever they want to believe, man. You tell them what you want to tell them.
Bama should stop sucking up, bro.
You can't suck up to your own wife. How you do that?
You's a lie. You try to
like man. You saying baby
to your wife, man. That's my road.
You try to set up the rest of your evening right now. Shout out to my lovely wife that I go to bed with every night,
who brought me ice cream that I had to turn off my screen so I could eat
for long periods of time too. Like, bruh, like,
yo, I didn't want my ice cream and milk.
It's called the freezer.
I'm in the attic.
I'm surprised you don't have a freezer up there.
Nah, I don't, man.
I'm surprised you don't have one of them little mini fridge up there, man.
Nah, we can't hear talking about melting ice cream and y'all ain't want to talk about Sandra Dorley. Yo, let's start that conversation over again, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, matter of fact, as we closing up, anybody that's watching, if you want to get to the conversation, just you want to start there.
Hey man, so you're just like you was doing well with your internet, man. and you connect. It's like you just have James Walter's internet just now.
James, y'all didn't hear nothing I said? All right.
Yeah.
I said, God bless. Good night.
Shout out to Brandy. Hey!
Shout out to all the black people doing amazingly black things, man. We appreciate y'all, including my beautiful wife. Shout out Ezra.
I'll see you in a minute. Kids, man.
In my bed.